ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So welcome everyone. We are discussing from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 3. And we are beginning the 10th chapter today.
But that day we completed.
Okay, yeah. So we have discussed how Brahmaji, he appeared from the navel of Lord Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and then he was thinking what to do, how should I begin this service of creation. And he heard tapa 2 times. He did tapasya for 100,000 celestial years. Lord appeared, he showed him his form, he showed him Vaikuntha, and then Brahma in the 9th chapter offered his beautiful prayers. So now the 10th chapter will be beginning today. 10th chapter is entitled The Divisions of Creation. So in this chapter, 10 types of bodies produced by dividing elements will be described, starting with Prakriti. And Maitreya Muni will also describe the characteristics of time. So that's what we'll be discussing in this chapter. Just a minute. So we'll begin with this first verse. Vidura uvacha antarahite bhagavati brahma loka pitamaha
अंतर्हिते भगवती
prajasasarja
ब्रह्मा
katitha
लोक पितामह
daihigirmanasi
प्रजाः
Sri Vidura said,
मानसी विभु.
of Brahma, the grandfather of
Vidura
the
said,
created the bodies of the living
"O
entities.
great sage, please let me know how Brahma, the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, created the bodies of the living entities from his own body and mind after the disappearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead." Hare Krishna.
So we have discussed about the creation of the universe 3 times so far in the second canto, in 2.1, then 2.5, then 2.10, and again the creation will be described. So Vidurji, he's asking this question. Antarhite Bhagavati, after the disappearance of the Supreme Lord, Brahma, who is Lok Pitamaha, who is the grandfather of the planetary inhabitants, Praja Sasarja Katidha, please let me know how he created the living entities. Daihiki Manasi Vibhu. Vibhu means, oh great sage, please tell me how he created from his body and from his mind. You know everything, so therefore you can tell me. So this creation topics are very, very difficult to understand, but in second canto it is described Mayam varnayato amushya ishwarasya anumodita shrunvata shraddhaya nityam mayayatma namuhyati. If one discusses the creation pastimes of the Lord, then he will not be bewildered by the Maya. Mayam varnayato. If we varnaya means description. If we hear the description of the creation pastimes of the Lord, Ishwarasya Anumodita Shrunvata Shraddhaya, with faith, if we hear Mayayatmanam Huyati, will not be bewildered. So, all the various topics of Bhagavatam, they are described to ultimately glorify Bhakti only. So, Brahmaji, after he offered his prayers to the Supreme Lord in full devotion, now Vidurji, he is continuing the narration and he's asking, what did Brahma do after Lord disappeared? So, this is the mood of a hearer of the Bhagavatam, always thinking, what happened next? Not thinking, कब तक बोलेंगे? Always thinking, okay, और क्या हुआ? How they proceeded the discussion, what happened later. Although Vidura, he had a very sour experience with Duryodhan. Duryodhan insulted him and he was thrown out of the palace. But still, he is asking about creation. Because it is not about him, it is about the glorification of the Lord. So that is how a devotee is. He is always interested in glorifying the Lord and not interested in his own glorification and in his own condition. Whatever condition may be, he is only interested in hearing the glories of Krishna. So that is the mood of a devotee. In fact, it is said, Yaddinam durdinam manye megha channam na durdinam, Yaddinam Krishna sallapa katha piyusha varjitam. What is the inauspicious day? Inauspicious day is not that day when there is no sun. Generally, the sun doesn't come, then बहुत ही gloomy day रहता है. It is not auspicious. But this verse says, Megha channam na durdinam. That is not an inauspicious day. What is inauspicious? Yad dinam Krishna sanlapa katha piyusha varjitam. When we don't hear about the pastimes of Krishna, that is an unfortunate day. So Vidurji is asking about what happened later. Okay, next verse. यच्च मे भगवान् पृष्टास् त्वय्यर्था बहुवित्तमा तान् वदस्वानुपूर्वेण छिन्दीन सर्वसंशयान्.
Oh, greatly learned one, 3.10. Oh, greatly learned one, kindly eradicate all my doubts and let me know of all that I have inquired from you from the beginning to the end.
Yaccha me Bhagavan Prishtaha. So whatever cha means whatever I have asked you and whatever I have not asked, that also you describe. Bhagavan Prishta, I have inquired. Tvai artha bahuvittama. Bahuvittama means you are a greatly learned one. Tan vadasva. Vadasva means please tell me. Anupurvena. Anupurvena means from beginning to end. I want to hear everything. Please don't, cut short any descriptions. I want to hear everything in great detail. So that is the mood of a devotee, always interested in hearing everything in full, no compromise. Anupurvena, Chindina, Sarva Sanshayan. So therefore, please remove all my doubts. So Prabhupada writes, one must be confident about the qualifications of his teacher. One should not approach a layman for replies to specific spiritual inquiries. So one should have confidence कि ये मेरे प्रश्नों के उत्तर दे सकते हैं. Not that पता नहीं देंगे कि नहीं पूछ के देखते हैं. The basic fundamental mood of a disciple is faith in Guru, Shraddha. That is the most important factor which helps the spiritual master to give the answers, to solve the doubts. Otherwise, if the disciples are in the mood of questioning the authority of the Guru, then the Guru also doesn't feel like answering the questions. Tadvidhi pranipatena
Pariprashnena seva.
Pranipat Pariprashna Seva. Humility, inquisitiveness, and service attitude. See, these three are important. So the disciple should have the confidence. And one should not approach anyone. Such inquiries, when replied to with imaginative answers by the teacher, are a program for wasting time. When the teacher does not know, if we ask some common person about spiritual life, he will say, Mujhe lagta hai. I think so. So that means there only everything ended. He doesn't know anything, he's just speculating. And it is a program for wasting time. So three things he is telling here. I want to know in detail. And I have a confidence in you. And Vidurji was submissive. So interestingly, Vidurji had a personal relation with Krishna. Maitreya had no relation with Krishna personally, but still he is humbling himself in front of a guru, not thinking, "ये क्या जानते हैं, मैं तो कृष्ण के साथ रहा हूँ." No, still he is becoming humble. So we may have some sentiments for Krishna, but we have to solidify those sentiments by presenting them to the spiritual master. And when he sanctions those sentiments, then they become bona fide and authentic. Just like when it comes in the first canto, when Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, he decided to leave everything and sit on the bank of Ganga, and he wanted to hear the glories till the time he is there. So all the sages, they assembled and he asked the same question. These are my convictions. Punascha bhuyad bhagavati anante rati prasanga chatada shreyeshu mahatsuyamyam upayami srishtim maitrestu sarvatra namo dujebhya. Let me come back again, I don't mind, but I want association of devotees, I want service to the Supreme Lord, I want compassion for all the living beings. Let that snake bird come and bite me, I don't care. You all please reciting the glories of Krishna. Dashattolam gayata Vishnu gatha. So he is presenting his convictions and he's telling, is it right? This is what I have decided. Is it right? So therefore he is very humbly presenting his convictions. So therefore one should approach a guru in the mood of submission, not in the mood of, challenge. Let me challenge, कितना मालूम है इनको, देखते हैं. मुझे तो मालूम है सब कुछ, but इनको कितना और मालूम है, let me check. That means we are not humble. So Vidurji wanted to hear everything. Okay, now Suta Goswami continues.
Question.
Yeah.
You said just now we have to you should not ask layman.
Mm.
Okay, now here Viduri is already having contact with Krishna.
Yeah.
And have a direct contact and interactive. Then how he came in contact with Maitreya? I'm not remembering how he came to come in contact with.
He went to Uddhavji.
Uddhavji told, na?
And he asked Uddhavji that you met Krishna and Krishna told you his paramam sthiti. The word had come, paramam sthiti. So can you please tell me that the very intimate pastimes, intimate subject matters which Krishna told you? So that time Uddhavji told, I am not qualified to tell you. Because why he didn't tell? There was a word used there. Anyone remembers that word? Maryada Vyatikram. Because Vidurji was much older than him, elder. So then he sent Vidurji to Maitreya. He said, when Krishna was instructing me, Vidurji, Maitreya Muni was also there. He also heard everything. So, and he is nearby only. He is on the bank of Haridwar, on the bank of Ganga in Haridwar. So please go. So that's where he went to. Yeah. Okay.
Maitreya is Vyasdev Samakalin, right?
Yeah, he's the same friend of Vyasdev.
Yeah.
They
They both
both
are
are
from
disciples of Parashar. Yes. Suta uvacha evam sanchoditastena
एवं संशोधितस्तेन
Shatra Kausaravirmunihi Rita Pratyahatan Prashnan Ritisthanatha Bhargava. Translation.
The material manifestations I feel.
Third.
Sutta Goswami said, O son of Vaibhav, thus great sage Maitreya, thus hearing from Buddha, shapes very mature and enlightened. Everything was in his heart, and thus he began to reply to the questions one after another.
Okay. Evam Sanchoditas. Thus being asked, Shatra means Vidurji. Kausharavi, he asked Maitreya Muni, and Pritah Pratyahatan Prashna. And Maitreya Muni, he was very enlivened to hear the questions. He didn't go into anxiety, अरे बाप रे इतने सारे क्वेश्चन पूछ दिए कैसे आंसर करेंगे. He had confidence. He had answers. And Prabhupada writes in one of the purports that if a person knows the answers, then he is not in anxiety when the questions are asked. So with Maitreya was very satisfied because he had everything in his heart. So therefore, he began to reply one after another. Prabhupada writes, addressing Shaunaka as son of Bhrigu suggests that he is capable of understanding the knowledge. So Shaunak is described as here Bhargava. Last line says, Ridhisthan Atha Bhargava. Bhargava is the son of Bhrigu Muni. That is Shaunak Rishi.
I think Shona Rishi is also.
Bhrigu,
I see.
son of Bhrigu. So that means you can understand all the answers. Shaunak Rishi, therefore I'll tell you. And he says, Ridhisthan. So all the knowledge was kept in the heart of Maitreya. That means he did not forget. So that's how it is described. He did not forget the questions. Yeah. And then Prabhupada writes in the purport. While Shukdev Goswami was speaking to Maharaj Parikshit, Suta Goswami was only one member of a large audience. But Suta Goswami was speaking to sages of Naimisharanya, headed by Shaunaka. This, however, does not make any substantial difference in the topics under discussion. So therefore, whenever the questions are discussed in parampara, whenever the knowledge comes in parampara, it comes as it is. So Suta Goswami heard from Shukdev Goswami and then he is speaking to Shaunakadi Rishi. So therefore, Prabhupada writes, it does not make any difference whether you hear from Shukdev Goswami or Suta Goswami. It is the same. So he remembered all the questions also. So Kausharava, Vidurji asked so many questions and Maitreya Muni remembered all the questions also. So therefore it was, Suta Goswami was not thinking, Vidurji was not thinking, itna sara पूछ लिया इनको question भी याद है कि नहीं? He had faith that he'll remember the questions also. So that's how questions and answers. Who is asking questions and who is hearing the answers? They both are equally important in a discussion. And in Krishna Katha, as the famous verse in the 18th chapter, first canto, he says, Suta Goswami, Shaunakadi Rishis are telling, you are the great devotee of the Lord. Tanno bhavanvai bhagavat pradhano mahattam ekanta parayanasya harer udaram charitam vishuddham shushrushatam no vitanotu viddham. You are Tanno bhavanvai. Bhavan means aap. You are Bhagavat Pradhan. You are the great devotee of the Lord Suta Goswami. And the topics are Harer Udara Charita, the magnanimous pastimes of Krishna, and we are eager to hear. So therefore, this is the best combination. So the questions of the audience enlivens the speaker. That's why Maitreya Muni became very happy. Maitreya felt very much enlivened. So whenever Prabhupada would give a class and after class he would say, any questions? And when no questions would be asked, then Prabhupada would say, oh, they were not so much interested, that nobody asked questions. Okay. Next verse. Maitreya Uvacha Virinchopi Tatha Chakre Divyam Varsha Satam
तथा
Tapaha
चक्रे दिव्यं
Atmanyatmanamavishya
वर्षं
Yatha
आत्मन्यात्मानमादिश्य यथाह भगवानजः.
The greatly learned sage Maitreya said, O Vidura, Brahma thus engaged himself in the penances for 100 celestial years as advised by the personality of Godhead and applied himself in devotional service to God.
Okay, so now Brahma Maitreya Muni starts answering. Virancho api tatha chakre. So Virincha means Brahmaji. He meditated for Divyam Varsha Shatam. He meditated for 100 celestial years, not 1,000, 100. After he heard tapa, he did tapasya. Again, Lord appeared. After Lord appeared, again he did tapasya for 100 celestial years. Lord, because to do the service, one needs strength. Again he did tapasya, as instructed by the Lord. Okay. Atmani Atmanam Aveshya. And therefore, he applied himself in devotional service. Atmani Atmanam Aveshya. He engaged his mind in remembering the Supreme Lord. Yathaha Bhagavan Ajaha. So Aja means unborn, Brahmaji. He is addressed as very, very powerful personality, and he engaged in devotional service unto Supreme Lord, because purification is important before any service. So therefore, Brahma is first purifying himself by doing tapasya, and then he will start creating this universe. Prabhupada writes, Brahma engaged himself for the Supreme Lord. That means he engaged himself in service. That is the highest penance one can perform for any number of years. And there is no retirement from such service, which is eternal and ever encouraging. So in Krishna consciousness, as one grows old, service increases. In the material life, one gets retired after working for a few decades. In spiritual life, there is no retirement. Yeah.
And always encouragement.
And always encouragement, and service increases all the more. As one devotee was saying, ISKCON में जवान सोता है बूढ़ा नाचता है. So that's what happens. As you grow older, you get more and more and more enthusiasm to serve Krishna. So that's how service is. In the second chapter also, when Vidurji first met Uddhavji, so there also it was described, Sa katham sevaya grasta, there it is described that how Uddhavji, although he was old, kalena jarasam, he was jara, he became old. That means he had spent a lot of time in Krishna's service, but still he was very enthusiastic. So there also Prabhupada writes, there is no retirement in service, 3.2. Prabhupada writes 3.2.3. Okay, so in mundane service, there is satiation leading to retirement. In transcendental service, there is no satiation. It is all enthusiasm, So transcendental service is not mundane. Service attitude increases gradually. A devotee wants to serve more and more and more. And Srila Prabhupada is a prime example of this. At the age of 70, he wanted to start a worldwide movement. So Kaviraj Goswami also says, Ami Vriddha Jara Tur Likhite Ka Paikar Mane Kichu Smarane Na Hoye Na Dekhiye Nayane Na Suniye Shravane Tabu Likhiye Bada Vismay. Ami Vriddha, I am old. Likhite Ka Paikar, hands are trembling. मने किच्छु स्मरणे न होए, not able to remember anything, कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है, कुछ सुनाई नहीं दे रहा है, तब वो लिखी, ये बड़ा विस्मय. It is astonishing. So that's how nothing can stop a devotee from rendering devotional service. It is said, devotee holds nothing back and nothing can hold a devotee back from serving Krishna. It is like a Gangai Vogham Udanvati. Where this word has come? Anyone remembers? Kunti Maharani praise, Toime Ananya Vishaya Mati Madhupate Skrit Rati Mudvata Dadha Gangai Vogham Udanvati. Okay. So now, nothing can stop our devotee. Matlab, to understand at our level, what is a mood of a devotee when the call of Krishna comes, nothing can stop him. If somebody gets a nature's call, nothing can stop him. We just went to Mayapur and we met Bhakti Rasayan Sagar Maharaj there. So he just gave a talk to the students and he was telling what all things, because he's from Russia. So he was telling what all things they went through and how much adventure they had. So they were doing amazing. Even after the Iron Curtain was removed, they were not given full rights to practice. And one time they were doing Sankirtan and police, they came and they started beating and put them everybody in the prison. Abhi prison, what they'll do, they started doing Kirtan there also. And they said, you can't do this here. So then they started doing something else. Somebody was speaking Bhagavatam class, everybody was hearing. So then the KGB people, the police started saying, these people are more dangerous inside. बाकियों को भी बिगाड़ देंगे. Okay, so now Brahmaji, he did tapasya. There is no retirement in the service. Prabhupada writes. 5th verse. तद्विलोक्याब्ज सम्भूतो वायुना यद अधिष्ठितः पद्ममम्भस्य तत्काल कृतवीर्येण कंपितम्.
Thereafter, Brahma saw that both the lotus on which he was situated and the water on which the lotus was growing were trembling due to a strong, violent wind.
So now Brahmaji is starting his service and his service is not so easy. And it is not that it was a rosy cozy way for Brahmaji. सब कुछ already arrange किया है, बस आपको सेवा करनी है. Our Acharya, the beginning Acharya has the same problem which we have. As soon as we start doing some service, problem comes. So he is seeing there is intense storm, everywhere, and the lotus is itself trembling. His foundation is itself shaking. Tad vilokya abja sambhuto. Abja sambhuto, the source of birth, his that lotus, Vayuna, it was moving in because of the air. Prabhupada writes. Somebody can read the purport.
The material world is called illusory because it is a place of forgetfulness of the transcendental service of the Lord. Thus, one engaged in the Lord's devotional service in the material world may sometimes be very much disturbed by awkward circumstances. There is a declaration of war between two parties, the illusory energy and the devotee. And sometimes the weak devotees fall victim to the onslaught of the powerful illusory energy. Lord Brahma, however, was sufficiently strong by the causeless mercy of the Lord, and he could not be victimized by the material energy. Although it gave him cause of anxiety when it managed to torture the existence of his position.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting. And this is how a devotee feels when he is doing his service and when he is tormented by his anarthas. So many obstacles. But Prabhupada writes, a devotee may be sometimes very much disturbed, not little disturbed, very much disturbed because of the external circumstances. Just like in the 11th canto, Krishna says, Badyamanopi mad bhakto vishayairajitendriya prayah pragalbhaya bhaktya vishayairna vibhuyate. Badyamano, although my devotee is bound. He is conditioned by sense gratification. Badyamanopi mad bhakto. Vishayair ajitendriya, he is not able to control his senses. But prayaha, pragalbha means intense bhakti. So it looks very contradictory. One side he is not able to control his senses, other side he is doing intense bhakti. How to understand this? Pragalbhaya bhaktya. He is doing intense devotional service. Vishayair na vibhuyate. So therefore, in the ultimate end, he will not be defeated. He may lose some battles, but he'll win the war. So what is this pragalbha bhakti he is doing, although he is falling many times? Any thoughts? Any questions? Any
Following the process.
He is not giving up.
yes?
He is following Parishram. What he is doing, he is failure, but again he keeps on trying to get up and do better than last time.
Yeah. So he understands that I may fall 100 times, but I will not give up serving Krishna. So that is the mood of a devotee. He may be defeated by his conditioned mind and conditioned senses, but the devotee has this firm conviction, I will try my best. I'll again get up and again walk. That is how in a boxing match, when one is considered defeated,
Just get up.
he refuses to get up. So a devotee may fall down many times, but again he gets up and again he starts walking. So, and slowly one becomes strong and strong in Krishna consciousness because he has fought many battles. So, seasoned devotee means he has fought many battles. The seasoned warrior, the seasoned devotee means उसने बहुत झेला है, you know. He has fought many battles with mind and anarthas. Many times he is beaten and many times he has won also, but he never gives up. You know, so one devotee was sharing that he was, learning this karate, and because some of the senior people, उनका karate में senior people, so they had their final, उनका exhibition, and this devotee was there, and he was seeing that 5 people are beating this one person, and he is just managing to, stay erect, strong. He's not falling down, and bichara is beaten black and blue. And then next day, he was given a black belt. So he was thinking, अरे इनकी तो कल इतनी पिटाई हो रही थी, आज black belt मिल गया है. So that is what happens to devotee also. Devotee may be beaten many times, black and blue, by anarthas, by the mind and the senses, but still, because he doesn't give up, he doesn't accept defeat. So therefore, Krishna awards the black belt. Next level of determination to practice Krishna consciousness. So that's how it is.
We are not following that.
Sorry?
But like, are we following the people who are just practicing the devotion, or is it intense Krishna consciousness?
No, I didn't understand.
What you said, no, like we get affected by other.
Pragalbha Bhakti, she is asking whether.
Okay, we are doing Pragalbha Bhakti or not? Intense devotion.
We are falling.
For us, what is intense is to just, get up and keep walking is intense at the level for a beginner, but for all of you are humbly telling all this, but all of you are doing much more. So, we have to understand that intense bhakti means first thing is having faith that whatever may happen, I'll not give up practice bhakti. And next, second thing is, I will try my best to stick to the principles, to continue rendering service. And sometimes my anarthas may trouble me, but still I will not give up. That is itself intense.
for the devotees like Lord Brahma and our dear Srila Prabhupada and others. If you look at the journey, there are so many apparent obstacles to the success. So there is no question of any anarthas and anything, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just that
correct.
they had, that is to teach us.
Yes. For pure devotees, Krishna puts them in situations so that they can show the world how a devotee should behave.
That is also called as Pradipati Bhakti.
For their,
For do call for Lord Brahma, here it is being mentioned in Srila Prabhupada. That is also, or it is sadhakas we call this.
say for pure devotees, they are always doing Pragalpa Bhakti only, whether problems come in their life or not, it doesn't matter. So they are always intense in their practice. And that intensity increases when problem comes. So, but for sadhakas, Krishna puts them in this such situation so that they can also become strong and intense. So that is the mercy of Krishna. Otherwise, will not become intense. If everything good goes very rosy, cozy, first class chal raha hai Prabhuji, mera na bhakti itna majedar chal raha hai na kya bataye, then we will never go out of our comfort zone and do something extra and become more serious in our prayers. We'll do our basic things. We'll do chanting in the morning. We may attend every day Mangal Aarti, but the intensity may not come. So when Krishna sees now he is becoming stagnant at this level, although that level may be very high, but Krishna wants that to increase more. So Krishna puts that devotee into certain situations so that he can become more intense, because there is no end, there is no limit to intensity in Krishna consciousness. So that is how it is.
Last, I do not understand. Lord Brahma, however, was sufficiently strong by the causeless mercy of the Lord.
Yeah.
And he could not be victimized by the material energy, although it gave him cause for anxiety. This last sentence, when it managed to totter the existence of his position. Right? What is the meaning of totter here?
Totter means somebody can see the meaning. I think the origin.
Totter means Dallamalla, I think that's trembling. We were sitting on the lotus now. That's what I understood.
Managed to totter the existence.
Totter the existence of his position.
Let me check the meaning of the word.
To stand alone.
Okay, yeah.
It's not steady.
When it managed to totter the existence of his position. Because Brahmaji, when he saw that this lotus was still very violently shaking, on which he was there, but still he was in anxiety, but he didn't get so much disturbed. So a devotee may be anxious. Srila Prabhupada was also put in so many situations where he was anxious, but he didn't give up serving Krishna. He didn't say, "Bahut ho gaya, main ja raha hu Vrindavan wapas." I was happy there. And it is said that many times Srila Prabhupada would go to the Boston Harbor and he would ask, "When is the next boat going?" So the person said there, "Swamiji, you are asking since last many months, when are you going?" So that's how Prabhupada would handle his anxiety, his tension. But jaake puch ke aa jate the. He never went. If he would have gone, then he would not be here. So spiritual life doesn't mean no anxieties, because Lord, anxieties will be there. But a devotee never leaves the service. And Krishna assures protection, of course. Okay, next verse.
Prabhuji, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna. हाँ प्रभु जी
Yes,
मैं
yes.
पूछ रही थी कि in case any devotee मतलब he is doing something wrong that the devotee knows because of his past life or karmas or whatever the intentions are there, and the devotee know, yes, what is he doing is not good for spiritual life, but because of the past life not at all able to give it up.
Yeah.
So, but he sincerely prays, he's sincerely praying to Krishna also, please help me. And on the other hand, he was intentionally doing it also because he's unable to give it up. So,
Correct.
how does the things, how the devotee should react, and what should be done. I mean, तो क्या
जात
करना चाहिए, कैसे
श्रद्धो
करना चाहिए?
मत्कथासु निर्विण्ण सर्वकर्मसु वेद दुखात्मकान कामान परित्यागोप्यनीश्वरः। ये आपका क्वेश्चन का आंसर है। कृष्णा हिमसेल्फ इज टेलिंग दैट इज आप जो बता रहे हैं वो सिचुएशन कृष्ण को मालूम है। He says, Jat Shraddho, my devotee, his faith has risen in Mat Katha, in my pastimes. Nirvinna Sarva Karmasu, he has given up all sense gratification. He wants to give up, but Parityagopi Anishwara, he is not able to give them up. He knows sense gratification leads to misery, but still he cannot give it up. फिर क्या करता है वो? क्या करना चाहिए? ततो भजेत. Still he continues to worship me with faith. Mam Prita. Prita means with a happy attitude. He is not disturbed, he is not grudging about क्यों हो रहा है मेरे साथ ऐसा. That happens to devotees many times. So it is an injunction Krishna is giving to his devotees. Problem आएंगे, anarthas will trouble you. You may fall down many times. You may realize, you may think, मैं इतना पतित कैसे हो गया, पहले तो नहीं था. Mam Prita, stay happy. Tato bhajet mam prita shraddhalu, with faith, dhrida nishchaya, with determination. So this is a injunction Krishna is giving. Prita shraddhalu dhrida nishchaya. Continue practicing with a happy face. दुखी मत हो जाओ, you know. ऐसा मुंह बना के घूमने का जरूरत नहीं, मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ, मेरी बहुत पिटाई हो रही है, my anarthas are really beating me down. ततो भजेत माम प्रीत, be happy. Jushamanas kaman, although somebody may engage, the devotee may engage in sense gratificatory activities, but although he knows dukha udar ka, he knows ये मेरे को बाद में दुखी देने वाला है, but still he does it. But what he does later, garahayan, he repents for it. So that repentance is very important for a devotee. So this will happen, you know, all these ups and downs in Krishna consciousness till the time anarthas are there. Sine wave तो चलता ही रहेगा, कभी ऊपर कभी नीचे. उत्साहमयी, घन तरला, all these types of bhakti will go on. Anishchita bhajan. 11, 20, I think 18, 19. If somebody can search. 11, 20, 18, 19, I think so. Jata Shraddho. 11, 20, 27, 28. Sorry.
भाग 11
Bhagavatam.
Canto, Bhagavatam.
11th Canto,
11.
20th chapter, 27, 28.
Okay.
So this is how a devotee, this should be a mood of a sadhak bhakta. One should never ever think, मेरा तो कुछ नहीं हो सकता. I am so fallen. No, I am doing hypocrisy here. मैं प्रचार इतना कर रहा हूँ और मेरे मन में कैसा कैसा आ रहा है. You know, it is all useless. I should just give it up. No, that is how Mayadevi tricks us. So just be patient. इसलिए patient बोलते हैं ना. Patient. धैर्य. So don't condemn yourself so much. Most of the times we condemn ourselves so much. That the guilt consciousness is good till the time it is encouraging us. If it is putting us into depression, then it is not good. That happens many times. And with every passing year, the test will increase. The level of that examination will increase. That's because Krishna wants, अभी बेटा अभी बड़े हो गए हैं, अभी next level का exam का समय आया है. So if we are thinking पहले तो नहीं आया था ऐसा exam, now why it is coming? Because पहले आप first class में थे, अभी आप 10th class में आ गए. Now it is time to graduate. नहीं नहीं मुझे 1+1 वाला ही exam चाहिए. So फिर then we'll not grow in our Krishna consciousness. Every time Krishna wants that we should become more and more intense. तपसा हि एधमानेन विद्यया चात्मसंस्थया विवृद्ध विज्ञान बलो न्यपाद्वायुं सहाम्भसा.
Long penance and transcendental knowledge of self-realization had matured Brahma in practical knowledge, and thus he drank the wind completely along with the water.
Yeah. So tapasa hi edhamanena, by increasing penance, and vidyaya, by transcendental knowledge, he became vivriddha. Vivriddha vigyan balo, he became mature in self-realization, practical knowledge. So that's how a devotee also gets mature after getting beaten many times, then he gets the black belt. Then he can handle the anarthas. What he did? Nyapad Vayum Sahambasa. He drank the wind completely along with the water. So long penance and devotion. Tapasya and sadhana. Both are important. So intense tapasya, physically or mentally, tapasya of the body, tapasya of the mind, tapasya of the intelligence, and sadhana, intense sadhana. Gradually it will happen. It will not happen overnight. Jarayati ashu yakosham nigiranam analoyatha. Gradually the subtle body is burnt by the practice of devotional service. It doesn't happen quickly. So that's how when तो वो कबीर का एक दोहा है ना, क्या वो, रसरी आवत जात ते, सुना होगा ना आपने? कैसे शुरू होता है? करत करत अभ्यास ते जड़मति होत सुजान, रसरी आवत जात ते सिल पर परत निशान. क्या है वो? When you practice, karat karat abhyas, when you practice regularly, even a foolish can become an intelligent person. Just like when a person draws water from the well, with the rope, the stone also gets a mark. So that's how gradually it happens. So Prabhupada writes, Brahma's struggle for existence is a personal example of the continued fight between living entities and the illusory energy. So this struggle for existence is there for the first created living being, the most powerful living entity had to go through this struggle. So who are we? Brahmaji with, today only Radhanath Swami Maharaj was giving a talk and he was describing about Brahmaji's power, such powerful personality. He created such high-tech universe. What intense brain he must be having, what powerful strength he must be having. And he also had to go through all these problems. Struggle for existence is there since beginning of creation. So whether Brahma, who is made up of all intelligence, his body is made up of intelligence. Till that time also he had 4 heads. He had all the powers. He had all the intelligence. Still he had to go through this tapasya, this struggle. So how can an ordinary living entity expect, nahi, mere jeevan mein problem nahi hona chahiye, I should happily go back home, back to Godhead. No, that is an illusion. It will never happen. And if it happens, we will not take it seriously. We will think, jaldi to nahi aa gaye, thoda aur ruk ke aa jata tha, So that's how we will not understand the value. If we are told, as one devotee was saying that, one time, a story was telling that, one time Narad Muni, he told the Lord that, oh Lord, all these devotees are doing Govardhan Parikrama. Will they all come back to you? So Lord said, yes, if you bring them, I will take them in the spiritual world. So Narad Muni went to everyone doing Govardhan Parikrama and they said, please come with me, I am taking you. He said, no, abhi to ghar pe itna kaam bacha hai. I have just come to do Govardhan Parikrama. How can I go? Nobody agreed. At last, one person agreed. He said, okay, I'll come. So at least he was happy. Chalo, ek to mila. As he was going, on the way, this person asked, so by the way, when are we coming back? So he said, Yad gatvan anivartante. एक बार जाने के बाद वापस नहीं आ सकते. He said, then I am not coming. So that is what is happening. So one should always understand that easily कुछ भी मिल जाएगा तो इसका value पता नहीं चलता है. So if we get something by hard work, then we will understand the value of it. By advanced knowledge in science and transcendental realization, one can try to control the material energy, which works against our endeavors. And in the modern age, advanced material scientific knowledge and finance have played very wonderful roles in controlling the material energy. Such control can be most successfully carried out if one is a soul surrendered to the Lord. So all the scientists are trying so hard using their all the fertile brain to control material nature, and Brahmaji just prayed to Krishna and he was given all the intelligence how to create such complex material universe with no problems. ऐसा आज तक कोई लॉ नहीं बनाया ब्रह्मा जी ने जिसमें बोला अरे थोड़ा उसका ना अपडेटेड वर्जन आया है. No, it is all 2.0. It is all perfectly made. Brahmaji didn't have to make any updates, no update software needed for this creation. That is how perfect Brahmaji has created this world. Okay. Tadvilokya vyadvyapi pushkaram yadadishtitam anena lokan praglilan kalpitasmitya chintayat.
Thereafter, we saw the lotus on which he was situated was spread throughout the universe, and he contemplated how to create all the planets which were previously merged in that very same lotus.
So now he is seeing that only lotus I am seeing. Everywhere this lotus is spreading. It was not a small lotus, huge lotus. And he was contemplating. So Prabhupada writes, the seeds of all planets in the universe were impregnated in the lotus on which Brahma was situated. So in fact, Brahmaji used the entire lotus only to create this universe. The lotus petal made the Bhumandal. And all the lotus stem, he used the elements to create the 14 planet, the upper 6 planetary systems, and the highest is the Satyaloka, that is the lotus flower itself. So that's how Brahma created this entire universe, taking the ingredients from the lotus itself. So now Sarga is done, Visarga is about to start. What is Sarga?
Primary creation.
Up to which point? Sarga has two parts. Karan Srishti and Karya Srishti. So Karya Srishti kab tak ho jati hai? What is the time when we say, okay, this is the end of Karya Srishti, now Brahmaji has to start?
Since Devdas and
So since Devtas they pray, then that all the elements they come together, Krishna sends his Vaibhav Shakti, that is Karya Srishti. And then Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters the Brahmanda and then lays down, fills half of the universe with the waters of his perspiration, that is Garbhodak Sagar. And then from the lotus, from the navel of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, lotus appears. And then Brahmaji is born on that. Till that time it is Karya Srishti. Uske baad, when Brahma starts creating, then it is Visarga. So Sarga is over. So Karan, Karya, that is Sarga. And Visarga means Brahma's creation. So Prabhupada, Chakravarti Thakur writes, Brahma made it into 14 divisions. And since to make it suitable for many forms, 3 divisions was not sufficient. So first he divided into 3. So that he describes in the, that is the next verse purport. So we'll recite the next verse. Padmakosham tadavisya Bhagavat karma choditah
कर्मचोदित
shed urudha
एकं व्याभिवादृता
tridha
त्रिधा
bhavyam trisaptatha.
त्रिधा भाव्यं विभक्तसाम्.
Thus engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Brahma entered into the world of the lotus. And as it spread all over the universe, he divided into 3 divisions of worlds and later into 14 divisions.
So first he divided into 3, then he thought, how will I fit all the various species into 3? So then he divided into 14. So he's organizing everything with meticulousness. He is not thinking, jaldi jaldi khatam karo bhai seva. He is very, very actively involved, doing service with all the details. So one should make effort to do the service in as wonderful way as possible. Not just, okay, jaldi khatam karo. Lord doesn't like that. Bhagavat karma choditaha. Bhagavat karma chodita means he was inspired by the Lord. Karma chodita means he was encouraged by the Lord. So when Lord sees the desire of a living entity to serve, then Krishna inspires a devotee. How can one serve better? If there is no intention and inclination, then Lord will not inspire a devotee. Okay, next verse. Etavan jiva lokasya samstha bheda samaritah dharmasya
संस्थाभेदसमावृतः
hiya nimittasya
धर्मस्यानिमित्तस्य
vipaka parameshtasau.
विपाकपरमेष्टसो.
Lord Brahma is the most exalted personality in the universe because of his causeless devotional service unto the Lord in mature transcendental knowledge. He therefore created all the 14 planetary divisions for innovation by the different types of living entities.
Etavan jiva lokasya. In this 14 planetary divisions, samstha bheda, he differentiated, he divided all the living entities to put into all these 14 planetary systems, and 2 qualities are described. These 2 qualities are needed to do any service. Dharmasya avipakaha and animitasya. Dharmasya avipaka means he was very mature in his practice of bhakti. And animitasya means he was not doing anything for his own sense gratification. He was very, very pure in his desires to serve. He had no ulterior motives. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, Brahma was mature in meditation and worship using mantra without material desires. So without material desire means animitasya, and dharmasya vipaka means he was very mature in his meditation and he knew how to serve Krishna. He was chanting mantra. What was impossible with the strength of such meditation? With the practice of bhakti, a devotee can get anything. There is nothing impossible for the devotee to achieve in life. That is the power of a devotee. It comes in the 5th canto when Parikshit Maharaj, Shukdev Goswami is describing how Priyavrat Maharaj, he was having a huge chariot, and with that chariot he was moving around the Meru mountain and he was creating the oceans and the islands. And he became the second sun because he was thinking the sun is moving around and there is a darkness on the other side of the Meru mountain. So he became the second sun. So Parikshit Maharaj is thinking, how is it possible for an ordinary living entity to do this? So there Shukdev Goswami says, what is difficult for a devotee to do? Devotee can do anything. Naivam vida purushakar urukramasya pumsam shadangri rajasa jita shadgunanam chitram vidura vigata sakridadadita yanna madheyam adhuna sajahati bandham. He says, there is naivam vidha purushakara. Anybody who is taking shelter of Urukrama, tad angri rajasa, one can conquer all the contaminations. One can do anything because chanting of the names of the Lord is so powerful. Yanamadhyam. One can conquer the material existence by chanting the names of the Lord. What to speak of if somebody has taken shelter of the Lord completely? So that is the power of a devotee. Nothing is impossible, Chakravarti Thakur writes. What is impossible with the strength of such meditation? Okay, Prabhupada writes. Supreme Lord is the reservoir of all the qualities. Conditioned souls reflect only part of those qualities. They are called as pratibimba. These pratibimba living entities have inherited different proportions of his original qualities. The Lord is living entities qualitatively one with the Lord, quantitatively different. But qualitative also there is not oneness. Living entities are not qualitatively also one. But almost many qualities are similar, so therefore they are said qualitatively one. Okay, so now after this, Vidurji, she asks few more questions. He asks about the characteristics of time. 10th verse, and Maitreya Muni answers the characteristics in next two verses, 11, 12, 13, three verses. Vidura uvacha yathatha bahurupasya hareradbhuta karmanaha kalakhyam lakshanam brahman
कालाख्य लक्षण
varnayana
ब्रह्मन्
prabhu.
यथा वर्णयन प्रभो.
Vidura inquired from Maitreya, O my Lord, O greatly learned sage, kindly describe eternal time, which is another form of the Supreme Lord, the wonderful actor. What are the symptoms of that eternal time? Please describe them to us in detail.
So kindly describe eternal time. Hare Adbhut Karmana. Anybody remembers this word? Where it has come?
Yudhishthira Maharaj was
Yudhishthira was lamenting because of me this is happening.
So what is Adbhut Karmana there? Hare Adbhut Karmana.
So Krishna was there present and he was trying to satisfy or just pacify. Inside Yudhishthira's heart is a Paramatma. So he was not saying, no, don't listen to him. He is not just giving you flowery words.
Yes, okay. So that is Adbhut Karmana. So Lord, He does everything to glorify His devotees. Adbhut Karmana. Hare Adbhut Karmana. Okay. Kalakhyam Lakshanam Brahman. Please describe the symptoms of Kala, eternal time. Yatha Varnayanaha. Please describe to us in detail. Anywhere else, this Kala has come described. We have heard sometime in the first canto this word Kala.
Again,
Bhishma tells.
suffered by you not because of your karma and because of karma.
Yes. Anybody remembers the verse?
सर्वकालकृतं च मन्ये. That verse.
Yes. Sarvam Kala Kritam Manye.
भवतां
Havatam Chayada Priyam. Apalo Yadavashe Loko. Vayo Riva Ghanavali. Just
घनावली.
yeah, just like the wind takes away the clouds, similarly, everything is carried away by the time factor. So time is imperceptible. पता भी नहीं चलता है, समय सबको चुपचाप बूढ़ा बना देता है. We don't even realize बूढ़े हो गए अभी. मैं सबको अंकल बोलता था, अभी लोग मेरे को अंकल बोल रहे हैं. So time passes by very quickly. Time is imperceptible. Yesha vai Bhagavan Sakshat Adyo Narayana Puman. Don't think, Bhishma is saying. Don't think. Who is this time factor? ये जो सामने खड़े हैं ना. Don't think he is your cousin. Yan manyase matuleyam surin mitram priyattamam akarot sachivam dutam sauridat atasarati. इन्होंने इतना सब कुछ किया है आपके लिए. इनमें से कुछ भी नहीं है. Esha vai Bhagavan Sakshat, he is a supreme time. Adyo Narayana Puman. He bewilders everyone. So that Lord is the Kala. Bhagavad Gita में क्या बोलते हैं?
Kalo Amasti.
Kalosmi aham lokakshaya krit pravidho. I am time. And one more place, this time comes. नहीं उस वहां पे नहीं आता मृत्यु सर्वहरश्चाम that वो death होता है okay so now after Vidurji asks this question Prabhupada writes in the purport
भाई मृत्यु और काल में क्या फर्क है? मृत्यु और काल
मतलब it is a time factor when the life duration is over then the time factor comes as death mrityu sarvaharascha aham time factor in the form of death takes away everything so it is another form of time factor only death. The controlling time has different dimensions in relation to particular physical embodiments. There is a time for atomic dissolution, a time for universal dissolution, a time for annihilation of the body, time for annihilation of the universal body. 4 types of pralay Prabhupada is writing here. There is Nitya pralay, Naimittika pralay, Prakritika pralay, and Atyantika pralay. Nitya means every moment something is getting destroyed, atomic dissolution. Naimittika pralay, over a period of time some things get destroyed. Prakritik pralay, which happens at the end of Brahma's day. Atyantika pralay, Naimittika pralay means that which happens at the end of Brahma's day. Prakritik pralay means happens at the end of Brahma's life. Atyantika pralay means that which happens when the all subtle body gets destroyed, when the living entity gets liberated. So that is what Prabhupada is writing all these things here. Okay, so now 11, 12, 13.
You said it different, but here atomic means whatever happening every
Nitya pralay.
now and then, Nitya pralay. Okay. Next is universal resolution. What is that?
Universal is Prakritik.
Prakriti means end of Brahma.
Brahma's life.
Brahma's life.
Atyantik is not described here.
And then there is a time of the body of the human being, right?
Prabhupada clubs it with, you can say about Nitya Pralay means when the atomic dissolution or the body gets destroyed.
Okay.
Atyantik Prabhupada is not mentioning here. Now Maitreya Muni describes 7 characteristics of time in 11, 12, 13, 3 verses. Maitreya Uvacha Gunavyatikarakaro Nirvishesho Pratishthitah
निर्विशेषो प्रतिष्ठितः
Padanam Atmanam Leelaya Srijat.
लीलया सृजत्.
Maitreya said, eternal time is the primeval source of the interactions of the 3 modes of material nature. It is unchangeable and limitless, and it works as the instrument of the Supreme Personality Godhead for his pastimes in the material creation.
Okay. So now, what is time? Guna Vyatikara Akara. So time arises from transformation of gunas. Guna Vyatikara Akar. So when the gunas transform, that creates time factor. Chakravarti Thakur writes, time, knowledge of whose nature arises from transformation of the gunas. Sorry, the knowledge of nature, time's nature arises from the transformation of good. Time doesn't arise, sorry, time is always there. We understand how the time factor is working when we are under the transformation of the modes of material nature. So time, we have heard, Lord glances over Prakriti, not Pradhan, or Prakriti same. Then under the influence of time factor, it transforms into Pradhan gets transformed into what? Mahatattva. So that's what here it is described. Time transforms Pradhan into Mahatattva, and then subsequent elements are also created. Everything is happening under the influence of time. So time is the driving force of all the changes which are happening in this material creation. So Lord created the universe which is called himself Atmanam Leelaya Srijat. So Lord has created this universe, and universe is another form of the Lord only. And he is creating this universe for his pastime. Leelaya Srijat. So in the 11th verse, the three qualities are described. Time causes agitation of the modes. Time is nirvishesha. Nirvishesha means nobody can attribute any quality to time. Time aisa hai, waisa hai. No. Time has no qualities without attributes, and it has no beginning and end. It is eternal. So basically, what Maitreya Muni is describing, it is describing the function of the time, not time itself. Because time, to describe time is not possible. We can just describe the effects of time. So Maitreya Muni is describing the effects of the time. Prabhupada writes.
But there is no end and start. It's like no.
It is a quality, you know.
Okay.
It is yeah, without attribute means intrinsically you cannot define time. You can see the effects of the time. So without beginning and end, it is not one of the qualities as it is described by Chakravarti Thakur. It is how time is. Time has no beginning and no end. कैसे कहाँ से time का क्या quality रूप है? What are the qualities? That is not made. That cannot be described. So Prabhupada writes, impersonal time factor is the background of material manifestation. This time factor is the material cause of creation and therefore a self-expansion of Supreme Lord. So time is considered the impersonal feature of the Lord. So time is the impersonal feature. And then Prabhupada writes, time factor is also explained by modern man in many ways. Some accept it almost as it is explained in Bhagavatam. For example, in Hebrew literature, it is accepted in the same spirit as representation of God. God, who at sundry times and diverse manners spake in the time past unto the fathers by the prophets. Pehle ka English language. Absolute time is continuous and is unaffected by the speed and slowness of material things. Whenever we say time बहुत जल्दी जा रहा है, time जा ही नहीं रहा है, you know.
Yeah.
It is our perception. Time is the same. All good things, they go very quickly. You know, whenever it is described in scriptures, they passed the time 100 years in enjoying and they didn't even realize. That is the experience of everyone. बुरा समय जाता ही नहीं है. कब खत्म होगा ये समय? अच्छा समय, it has gone very quickly. It is our perception. Time ka speed is the same only. Time is astronomically and mathematically calculated in relation to the speed, change, and life of a particular object. Time has nothing to do with the relativity of things. Rather, everything is shaped and calculated in terms of facility offered by time. So that's how time factor is calculated, depending on the relative experiences of the people. Time is the basic measurement of the activity of our senses, by which we calculate past, present, and future. In the factual calculation, time has no beginning and end. So that's why in the spiritual world, there is no time factor, because there is no beginning and end. So therefore, time is not there. We cannot perceive of spiritual world also, because it is another dimension altogether. That's how it is. Okay, Prabhupada writes. Chanakya Pandit says that Even a slight fraction of time cannot be purchased. Very common, understanding. Time is not subject to any form of psychology, nor are the moments objective realities in themselves, but they are dependent on particular experiences. And that's what we discussed. अच्छा समय जल्दी जा रहा है, बुरा समय जाता ही नहीं है. So that's how time is relative. As per our experience, time remains the same. So time has nothing to do with our experiences, but we perceive time in a way depending on our experiences. Flow of time remains the same always. Okay, now 3 qualities are described. 2 more will be described in the next verse. Vishwam vai brahma tanmatram samsitam Vishnu mayaya Ishwarena parichannam
ईश्वरेण परिच्छन्
kalena vyaktamurtina.
कालेन व्यक्तमूर्तिना
Cosmic manifestation is separated from the Supreme Lord.
Ishwarena Parishinnam.
Means of Kala, which is the unmanifested impersonal feature of the Lord. It is situated as the objective manifestation of the Lord, under the influence of the same material energy of Vishnu.
So Vishwam vai, this cosmic manifestation, Brahma tan matram, it is separated from the Supreme Lord, Samsthitam Vishnu Mayaya, and this is all created by the Vishnu Maya, all created by the energy, material energy called Kal. So this Kal is the energy of the Lord. In the 2nd chapter, when Narad Muni asked Brahmaji, please tell me about this material creation. Who is the source? How it is created? How it is maintained? What are the constituents? So there Brahmaji says, Dravya, Kala, Karma, Swabhava, Jiva, they are all coming from Vasudeva. They are all ingredients which create this universe. So Kal is one of them. Vishnu Maya. Ishwarena parichannam kalena avyaktamurtina. So it is situated as the objective manifestation of the Lord. Objective manifestation means it is not dependent on our experiences. And involved in it. He is aloof. He is materially also not involved. He is emotionally also not involved. As this Chatushloki said, Lord is not emotionally involved with this material world. He is attached to the spiritual world. Whatever is happening in the spiritual world, he is actively involved. He is not involved in the material world. And then in the 13th verse, it is described, this time factor divides the universe into 14 planets and it is cyclical. So it is cyclical. It goes in a cyclical way. This cosmic manifestation is as it is now. It was same in the past and it will continue in the same way in the future. So that's how time is cyclic. Okay, so this is how time factor is described. So then 14 to 17.
Cyclic in the sense.
Cyclic means Satyug, Kaliyug, that goes on.
What are the 2 things in the text for?
Cyclic nature of the time, and it divides the universe into 14 planetary systems. Okay, so we'll do shloka recitation.
Yes. We have exam at 5.
Exam aaj hai? We have exam today? Okay, ठीक है.
Cancel होगी, cancel नहीं हो. तो पढ़ाई हुआ.
नहीं किया था. So now we'll continue 14 to 17. The 10 types of creation are described by Maitreya Muni, the secondary creation. So, in this 10 types, the 6 types are primary creation by Vishnu and the remaining 4 are the secondary creation by Lord Brahma. So they both are clubbed in these verses 14 to 17. So in the 14th verse, we'll recite the 14th one. Sargo navavidhastasya
सर्गो
प्राकृतो
नवविधस्य
वैकृतस्तु यः
प्राकृतो वैकृतस्य
तात्रव्यगुणैर्यस्य
कालद्रव्यगुणैर्यस्य
संक्रमः
द्विविधः प्रतिसङ्क्रमः। हरे कृष्ण।
प्रकृतो वैकृत
विलासिनी माता जी, आपका नेटवर्क इज लिटिल स्लो, so it is not coming properly. I'm putting you to mute. Yes, remute भी नहीं हो रहा है. I don't know this problem. Okay, somebody can read the
There are
translation.
nine different kinds. Besides the one which
There are
You-
9 different kinds
Mute भी नहीं हो रहा है.
of creation besides the one which naturally occurs due
Mute ही नहीं हो रहा है. I don't know.
to
I am
the
host, but still I am not able to.
interaction of the modes.
Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. So now there are 9 different types of creation besides the one which naturally occurs due to interaction of the modes. So there are 3 kinds of annihilation due to eternal time, the material elements, and the quality of one's work. So 3 kinds of the besides the one means 9 plus 1. So in the 9, 6 are primary, 3 are secondary, and 1 is mixed. If you have Subodhini, you can see the chart. The 10 types of creations are described in a table form there. So 6 primary creations, 3 secondary creations, and 1 mixed creation. So what is this mixed creation? We'll come to it in some time. And the 3 types of
In that three,
आगे जाएंगे तो होगा.
3.10.
15 to 17.
Oh, these are the discussion.
नहीं destruction के आगे.
6 types of primary creation.
Yeah.
Prakruta Sarga.
6 primary creation, 3 secondary creations by Brahmaji, and 1 mixed. Mixed is the devatas. Some devatas are created by Brahma, and some devatas are created by Mahavishnu as a sense devatas. So they are considered as mixed creation. Devata creation is a mixed creation, created by Lord also, created by Brahmaji also. Okay. So 3 types of destructions are also described. One happens at the end of Brahma's life, at the end of Brahma's day, and the destruction of the body at the death. So that is also described. So Prabhupada also writes in the purport the same thing, 3 types of annihilation. Okay, next verse. Adyastu mahata sargo gunavaisham manaha Vahamo yatra dravya jnana dayah.
Of the 9 creations, the first one is the creation of the mother, or the sum total of the material ingredients, wherein the modes interact due to the presence of the Supreme Lord. In the second, the false ego is generated, in which the material ingredients, material knowledge, and material activities arise.
So whatever we have seen in the creation, they are put into 3 types. So first the Mahatattva is created, that is the first type of creation. Then Ahankar is created, that is second type. Then the Tanmatras are created, that is the third type. So whatever we have seen, usko केवल category में डाला है. So Tanmatras, they are created from Ahankar in the mode of ignorance. Then Indriyas are also created, Ahankar in the mode of passion. Then the Devatas are created, Ahankar in the mode of goodness. And the ignorance is also there. Ignorance is created by in the beginning by Brahmaji. And of course in the beginning by the Lord also. It is produced by Avidya Shakti. It will be described in some time. I'm just seeing the chart. So in this 15th verse, first creation is Mahatattva, second creation is Ahankar. So these two are described. Next, 16th verse. Bhuta sarga tritiyastu tanmatra dravya shaktiman
तन्मात्रा द्रव्यशक्तिनां
indriya sargo
चतुर्थ
चतुर्थ
इन्द्रियः सर्गो
इन्द्रियः सर्गो
kriyatmakaha.
यस्तु
यस्तु
ज्ञानक्रिया
ज्ञानः क्रियात्मकः.
हरे कृष्ण.
The same perfections are created in the third creation, and from these the elements are generated. The fourth creation is the creation of knowledge and of working capacity.
Kriya Shakti. Fifth creation. Vaikariko Deva Sargaha.
वैकारिको देवसर्गः
Panchamo
ये
Yakayam
सर्वः
Manaha.
पञ्चमोऽयं
पञ्चमो यज्ञः
Shashtastu
मनः
Tamasa Sargo.
षष्ठस्तु तमसः सर्गो
Yastva Buddhi
षष्ठस्तमस्तः
Krita
सर्गो
Prabhu.
यस्त्वबुद्धिकृतः प्रभु.
यस्त्वबुद्धिः कृतः प्रभो.
हरे कृष्ण.
It is an incarnation. Entity by which the master acts as a food.
Okay, so these are the 6 types of primary creation. First creation is the creation of Mahatattva. Second is Ahankar. So Prabhupada writes something about Ahankar. False ego is the cause of identifying the body and the mind with the soul proper. Then the third is the sense objects, the Tanmatra. Fourth is the Jnana, Kriya Shakti, the senses. The senses, they do activity. They are Kriya Shakti. And the fifth is the Devatas. They are all created. And then ultimately ignorance is also there.
And six is ignorance.
Yeah. So then Prabhupada writes in the purport, the Devatas, the demigods.
The sixth creation, ignoring darkness, like that is not the order actually.
That is not an order, but still it is described that that is also created. The Avidya Shakti creates the ignorance. So that is not the process of creation, but that is how we have seen Maya. Maya has 3 parts: Vidya, Avidya, and Pradhan. Prakriti or Pradhan, then Vidya and Avidya. So these are the 3 Shaktis of external, Bahiranga. So that is also created. The Avidya Shakti creates ignorance, and that makes one forget the living entity. How they will forget that we are not this body, we are soul. So that is created by Avidya Shakti. That covers the living entity. Avidya has 2 parts. What are the two phases of Avidya Shakti? Covers.
Covers.
उसको क्या बोलते हैं?
हाँ, अवनात्मिका and प्रजात्मिका.
And Prakshepatvika. Yeah.
प्रक्षेपात्मिका.
Okay, so now then he describes the 3 phases of Maya which we have discussed.
So where is the 9 creations are over here?
नहीं, अभी 6 ही हुए हैं खाली.
Same, है ना?
हाँ, आगे 3 will be described by Brahmaji and then it will come subsequently.
6 are the
6 are primary.
6 are
They are created by the Lord. 3 are secondary by Brahmaji, and that will come later in some time. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes about in the 17th purport about this ignorance. Maya has 3 conditions: Pradhan, Avidya, and Vidya. You know, we have discussed many times. This comes in this purport. 3:10:17. Chakravarti Thakur writes this distinctions. Maya has 3 conditions: Pradhan, Avidya, and Vidya. So Vidya is also potency of Maya only. What Vidya? What Vidya? No. What Vidya comes under Maya?
This material world, yeah.
वो तो अविद्या में आ गए. विद्याम च यस्तत् वेदो भयम सह. ईशोपनिषद में है ना, one should know knowledge also, ignorance also. So what knowledge is given by Maya? We have discussed this earlier also.
This body.
This body. Knowledge of the soul is still under Maya only. By the influence of the material energy, one can get self-realization. But to get bhakti, one has to come under the Daivi Shakti, Ladini potency. So the self-realization is given by Durga Devi only.
Oh.
But realization that I am servant of Krishna, I have to serve the Lord. That realization is given by Ladini Shakti, Antaranga Shakti. Hmm? So in that, Chakravarti Thakur writes, by Pradhan, the elements are created. These are the real creations. Then by Avidya, 5 types of ignorance is created. We have discussed this earlier also. Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha, all this comes in this purport also. Avidya means ignorance. Asmita means pride. Rag means attachment. Dvesh means hatred. Abhinivesh means false identification. They are all created. By Vidya, knowledge which destroys the 5 types of ignorance is created. One understands that I am not any of this. I am not this body. I am soul comes from Vidya only. So that's how it is. So Mahamaya is not just bewildering people. Maya Devi gives knowledge also that we are not this body, we are soul. So that is understanding. Okay, so now after this, so 3 phases of Maya. I think इसमें give है ना? There is a whole table in the Subodhini about, yeah. No, before that, the 3 phases of Maya करके कोई तो एक, there is a table. It is not here.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, we have discussed.
So Maya Shakti is giving so much of information. Still we consider.
No, it is not there. I have put I have made a table based on the Chakravarti Thakur's purport. We have discussed this. Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
So Maya Shakti is giving this realization so that you are not body or a soul.
Only if living entity wants it.
But then why we consider it as a very dangerous?
Because most of the time we don't want that Vidya potency. We are absorbed in a Vidya Shakti. We want to enjoy this world. So that's why we don't get benefited by the Maya, Mahamaya potency. And even after coming to Krishna consciousness, devotion, whenever we say we are in Maya, Maya Devi is not a sadistic person. She is not troubling because she wants to cover us. She is testing a devotee. And she covers the other non-devotees because they want it. Maya Mugdha Jiver Nai Sota Krishna Gyan Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Puran. That's why Krishna has given Veda Puran. So that you come out of this and come under Devi Shakti. But living entity don't want. So therefore, Maya Devi covers them. And when a living entity wants to come under devotion, Maya Devi tests them.
Yes, okay. So what's that test?
Yeah. Because it is a benediction. It is a boon that Maya Devi is testing us. If we are told that you will be sent in the self same body to Vaikuntha Goloka now, how many of us will be able to handle that? कितने लोगों को लगता है कि चलेगा मुझे? Will die out of envy, will die out of lust, will die out of greed, because there, everybody is more advanced than is a pure devotee. और मेरा तो यहाँ पे इतना प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है.
श्लोक याद नहीं होता. लॉर्ड ऑफ ग्लोरी कैसे करेंगे?
और यहाँ पे लोग बोलते ही जा रहे हैं, श्लोक सुनाते जा रहे हैं, और यहाँ पे तो मेरा भक्ति वैभव में जैसे तैसे तो मैं याद करके आया हूँ अभी. मेरे को रोज भेजना पड़ रहा है श्लोक याद करके, रिकॉर्ड करके, और यहाँ पे तो लोग अपने आप कंपोज कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे श्लोक. So it is a mercy of the Lord. वहां पे no time schedule. Whenever Krishna wants, we have to go. अभी कोई गोपी बोलती रात को क्यों बजाया फ्लूट, सुबह में बजा लेते. So that's how Maya Devi tests us, so that we can prepare ourselves. Okay, so then now after describing the primary creation, 18th to 30, these 13 verses describes the secondary creation by Brahma. 13 verses describe the secondary creation. And this 3 types of creation and 1 mixed creation, they are again divided into many varieties. All the species of life come under this. And the table is there in the Subodhini nicely given. षडिमे प्राकृता सर्गा वैकृतानपि मे शृणु रजो भाजो भगवतो लीलेयं हरिमेधसः
वैकृतानपि से शृणु राजो भोजो भगवतो
इनका भी नेटवर्क का बहुत प्रॉब्लम रहता है।
लीलेयं हरिमेधसः.
All the above are natural creations by the external energy of the Lord. Now hear from me about the creations by Brahma, who is an incarnation of the mode of passion, and who in the matter of creation has a brain like that of personality of Godhead.
So after describing the primary creation, now he is describing the secondary creation by Brahmaji. So in the 19th verse, he describes the seventh creation. In that, the creation of 6 types of plants and herbs are described. So total 84 lakh species will be described in this. Not exactly, but the major categories will be described. So all the plants, they are described are divided into 6 divisions, plants and herbs. सप्तमो मुख्य सर्गस्तु षड्विधस्तस्तु शांचयः वनस्पत्यौषधीलता त्वक्सारा विरुद्धोद्रुमा
यसारः विरुद्धो द्रुमः.
The seventh creation is that of immovable entities, which are of 6 types. The fruit trees without flowers, the trees and plants which exist until the fruit is ripe, creepers, pine plants, creepers which have no support, and trees with flowers and fruits.
So Chakravarti Thakur describes what are all these. Vanaspatayaha. Vanaspati means plants without flowers but have fruits. Vanaspati. Oshadhi. They are annual plants perishing after a year. They are called as Oshadhaya. Lata. Lata means plants which need support to rise. Twaksara. Twaksara means hollow from inside, bamboo. Virudhaha. The plants which do not depend on support to rise. They are stiff. They can rise on their own. Drumaha. Those which give fruit through flowers. So these are the 6 varieties of plants. And what are the characteristics of these varieties? They have 4 wonderful characteristics. Translation, somebody can read. 20th.
How the immovable trees and plants seek their subsistence upwards. They are almost unconscious but have feelings of pain within. They are manifested in variegatedness.
So 4 characteristics. They distribute their nourishment upwards. They are called as padapa. Plants are called as padapa. They drink through their feet. Padapa means पीने वाले. कैसे पीते हैं? Feet. And they are almost unconscious. They have a feeling of pain when cut. So they also feel pain when cut. And they have unlimited varieties. Okay, then the 8th creation is the creation of animals, which have again 4 characteristics. Tirashchamashtama sargaha soashtavimshadvidho mataha avido bhuri tamaso घ्राणज्ञाग्रदि अवेदिनः.
The 8th creation is that of the lower species of life, and they are of different varieties. Numbering 28. They are all extensively foolish and ignorant. They know their desirables by smell, but are unable to remember anything within the herd.
So they have no concept of future. Animals can't think what is happening to me. Why do bad things happen to good people? They can't answer all these. They have no conception of future. They have only one understanding, kahan bhojan milega. And they know their desirables by smell. and they are devoid of any liberation, any thoughts of liberation. They are foolish, they are ignorant. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, their nourishment is distributed horizontally. Our goes from up to down, plants, they down to up, animals, horizontal. So that's how they are horizontally distributed. So animals have only consciousness of eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That's all they can think about. Ghranagya. So they experience only objects dear to their heart. Ghranagya Ridi. Ridi means whatever is dear to their heart, they only experience that. And what is dear to their heart? Eating and sleeping and mating and defending. So Ghran matlab eating, whatever they smell. Okay, so now 22nd describes animals. So there are 4 types of animals. There are 4 categories described now. In that, animals with 2 hooves, animals without hooves, animals with 5 nails, and birds. They'll be described in next 4 verses. So somebody, we can read just a translation of all of them. Somebody, 22 say 25.
So, dearest Vidura, of the lower animals, the cow, goat, buffalo, Krishna's cat, hog, Javaya animal, deer, lamb, and camel all have 2 hooves. The horse, mule, ass, gaura, sarabha, vision, and wild cow all have 1 hoof. Now you may hear from me about the animals who have 5 nails. The dog, jackal, tiger, fox, cat, rabbit, sajaru, lion, monkey, elephant, tortoise, alligator, gosapa, etc. all have 5 nails in their class. They are known as Panchanaksha. Panchanakha are animals having 5 nails.
Next.
The heron, vulture, crane, hawk, basa, baluka, peacock, swan, sarasa, chakravaka, crow, owl, and others are the birds.
So after describing all that, now the last is, the 9th one is the human beings that he describes separately. Arvak Shrotastu Navamaha Shattareko Vidhoninam Ekavidha Rajo Para Interesting description of human beings. Yes. Translation.
The creation of the human beings who are of one species only and who stock their eatables in the belly is a line in the rotation. In the human race, the mode of passion is very prominent. Humans are always busy in the midst of miserable life, but they think themselves happy in all respects.
So Rajo Adhika Karma Para, they are very passionate. The mode of passion is very prominent. Prabhupada writes they are more passionate than animals. Animals, they mate only regularly. Only once a year, lion mates. But humans are very irregular. उसके नाम पे भी वायग्रा नाम रख देते हैं. Viagra, बेचारा व्याघ्र, mates once a year. And human beings, they take the name and they are doing all irregularly. So animals have their due time for sexual intercourse, Prabhupada writes. But the human beings have no regular time. Human being is endowed with higher advanced consciousness for getting relief from material existence, but due to his ignorance, he thinks that his higher consciousness is meant for advancing material comforts. In the 4th canto, there is a Puranjan story, beautiful allegorical story. So in that, this Puranjan is the soul, and he finds a beautiful lady, that is Puranjani, that is the material contaminated intelligence. That is the lady. And as soon as he sees the lady, he is describing the lady nicely. Oh, it seems that you are like Lakshmi, you are like Saraswati, you are like Bhavani, you are so beautiful. So what is he telling? What Narad Muni wants to tell? Every human being thinks my intelligence is the best one. It is very beautiful. Every सबको ऐसा ही लगता है. मैं जैसा सोचता हूँ ना वैसा कोई सोच नहीं सकता है. Mine is the best one. सबको ऐसा ही लगता है. That's how मतलब क्या जबरदस्त बना है. And then he says that, but you are not Lakshmi because you don't have lotus flower in hand. Then Chakravarti Thakur says that means after some analysis, a living being understands that my intelligence may not be the best one, but still I like it. I don't want any other's intelligence. मेरा सबसे अच्छा है, मुझे पसंद है. And then he says that maybe you have thrown the lotus flower from your hand. So what is that lotus flower? That is lotus flower of discernment, discerning the real nature of the world you have thrown away. Material intelligence never allows us to understand that there is a spiritual world also. So that's how one is always busy in the material life. That is the human being. Okay, so now after this, he describes the last. I think I will complete this chapter. 3-4 verses are remaining. Translation, somebody can read 27th.
Oh God, oh good.
Oh, good Vidura, these last three creations and the creation of demigods, the 10th creation, are Vaikrita creations, which are different from the previously described Prakrita natural creations. The appearance of the Kumaras is both.
Okay, so Devatas, they come under this. Some are created by Brahmaji, some are created by Supreme Lord. And Kumaras, he says, Kumaras, they come under both. So Chakravarti Thakur writes, the creation of Devatas from Ahankar in the Sattvic are described in the creation originating from Prakriti. So Devatas, they are classified as Prakrita. But a creation of Devatas also occur by Brahma later. They are called as secondary. And the creation of Kumaras, they are both Prakrita and Vaikrita. So some Brahmana, sorry, the mixed creation is only one Kumara species. I think it is described like that. Yeah, sorry. The Devatas, they are categorized into Prakrit and Vaikrit. They are not put into mixed. But the creation of Kumaras is mixed because why they are called as mixed? They are said to be both Prakrit and Vaikrit because by Brahma's meditation on the Lord, they are generated both by Brahma and the Lord. That is interesting. Because Brahma meditated on the Lord and created Kumaras, so therefore they are mixed creation. So although some Devatas are created by Brahma, but they are specifically put under Prakrita, Vaikrita, and the previous Devatas are put under Prakrita. But Kumaras are both. That is described. Yeah. Okay. So therefore, after describing all this, he says, now I will describe the, okay, 28 and 29. Somebody can read the translation. Now he is describing the various types of Devatas.
The creation of the demigods is of 8 varieties. The demigods, the forefathers, the Asuras or demons, the Gandharvas and Apsaras or angels, the Yakshas or Rakshasas, the Siddhas, the Charanas and the Vidyadhyas, the Bhutas, Pretas, the Sasas, Pisachas, and the superhuman beings, celestial singers, etc. All are created by Brahma, the creator of the universe.
They are all categorized into Devatas. They are all higher than human beings. Bhuta, Pishach, Gandharva, ये सब लोग higher हैं. They are all greater than human beings. So after describing all this, he says, now I shall describe the descendants of Manu.
Now I shall describe the descendants of Manu, the creator Brahma, as the incarnation of the passion mode of the personality of Godhead, creates the universal affairs with unfailing desires of every millennium by the force of the Lord's guidance.
Okay, so that's how I'll describe now the creation of Manus. So that's the chapter end here. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Bhuta Pishaches are greater than the human beings.
Yes, in their powers, they are greater than human beings. Okay, Hare Krishna.